Welcome to the 2MC's Mike podcast.
Yeah.
Sad.
We're here with
Serenity Rose.
All right.
The goddess.
The goddess. I like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we're going to have a conversation. We're going to let the song rock out a little bit.
Yeah.
Just get into something in the field.
Everybody know your brand. No, I'm not your only man.
This one's called OnlyFans.
I'm in the trance, but you treat me like you're OnlyFans.
Blam the General.
Yeah. OnlyFans.
Guy Fisher.
OnlyFans.
We're going to start introing our records.
That's G. Fisher.
G. Fisher, my bad.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, Fisher, check.
Treat me like you're OnlyFans.
I'm a hustler, baby, you know that means that I probably need me a hustler chick. She ain't concerned with no cuffing pigs. Get off the line, you ain't discussing trips. She out your league, you ain't touching chips. Cause she get to a bag, her page poppin'. She a porn star, now she wanna record, she sucked this dick. And I probably let her, she's so flawed, but that ass.
What's going on, baby? What's good with you?
What's happening?
Sad.
Ain't nothing really. We doing what we do, baby. That was OnlyFans, man. G. Fisher. Blam the General on that record. What's going on? How you been, man?
Good, man.
We got a first female guest that ain't Pinky in this motherfucker.
Yes. Serenity Rose, the goddess.
You already know what it is. How you been doing, man?
I've been good. You know, everybody go through their struggles. And I've been struggling, not gonna lie, but these are the positive things that are happening in my life now, thanks to you guys.
All right.
Yes,
We here.
Thanks.
So, give us a history. Are you originally from Atlanta?
No, I'm originally from Connecticut, born and raised in Hartford, Connecticut.
Where? We used to get money out there.
Connecticut.
We ain't gonna speak too much on that. Just know we used to get money out there. You know what I mean? We used to be out there getting money. So, for the people that don't know you, we're gonna try to do a little back history, a little conversation, and build up. So, how was life in Hartford? How was it growing up? What was the situation like?
Growing up, you know, I didn't have my real parents in my life due to my mom's actions. So, and she made sure to keep me away from my dad. So, pretty much, I didn't know my mom and my dad till I turned 19 years old. I'm sorry, I keep hitting the mic.
Now you good?
Till I was 19 years old. And, but growing up with my adopted parents, I was raised Christian.
Right.
Very, very conservative Christian. So, we weren't allowed to do much. My life pretty much was just...
So that when you got out, you just went buck wild, huh?
Hell yeah. Of course. Like, after being sheltered your whole life, you go break out and you go do whatever you want. But me breaking out, I was very naive. I had to learn a lot because... And that's one thing Georgia taught me. I can say the people in Georgia really taught me you really can't trust no one. You gotta like really protect yourself.
Right.
Because these streets ain't no game. And I had to learn that, you know, throughout my situations that I went through.
Right.
They weren't good situations, but I can say I learned from them. I learned a lot. It made me the woman I am today.
So at 19 was when you first actually ventured out.
Yes.
After being in all this Christian life and doing everything.
Sheltered.
Yes.
Been sheltered your whole life. Didn't learn nothing about the streets and
nothing. All I learned was pretty much how to be a good wife. What I could do to make sure my husband was happy is submit to my husband, and it just didn't set right with me. Because
it sounds good to me, though.
I don't see a problem with it.
No problem.
I mean, y'all man, so you're not gonna see a problem with it. But as a female, that's very dominant, headstrong. It was an issue. It just didn't set right with me.
Right.
Like I'm a free thinker.
Right.
So me not being able to think freely and being told what I had to think and being told what I had to do, it wasn't me.
Right.
Like I had to figure me out, and through every lesson I began to figure me out, because when I say I was naive and broken, I really was. I became stronger through the mistakes that I made. And no, I'm not perfect. No, I'm not 100% all the way there, but I'm still learning, because every day is a lesson. And that's one thing that life has taught me.
Right.
You could go through good days and you could go through bad days.
Facts.
And I try and stay strong and encourage other people, not to give up, because I've been where they've been. Like, I've been suicidal. I've been not all the way there.
Wow.
So, like, me learning how to survive in a world that people hate.
Right.
It taught me to be stronger in this day and age.
Right.
And I learned I was a goddess through every situation.
Right.
I didn't just call myself the goddess, like, off
You
rip.
earned your stripes.
Like, my legal name, I'm gonna say, I don't like people calling me, it's Sarah. But I had to let go of that name because it gave me a bad meaning.
You look like a Sarah to me, though. I ain't gonna lie. I would say Sarah looks good. But tell me this, though. How did you get from Connecticut to Atlanta? Was it just direct from Connecticut to Atlanta? Was it from Connecticut to New York, then Atlanta? How this worked out?
Well, it was, I met this guy on Facebook. He was an older gentleman. And
oh shit! Here we go.
he was like I said, I was very naive. I was staying in Connecticut for a while, and I had gone through situations there from a shelter. And when I was in the shelter, I ended up meeting this guy on Facebook. He was older. He was like, he'll take care of me, he'll love me, whatever. I believed him because I was young and dumb.
Right.
So he brought me to Pennsylvania and then left me stranded in Pennsylvania because he was like, oh, I can't deal with you. You too much. I was like, okay, cool. So I ended up going to the streets, pretty much, just to put it like that.
You know what I mean? But let me ask you this question. How you ended up in the shelter from being in a home at 19? You weren't listening and they put you out?
No, I ran away. I ran away because of the situations that were going on there. They weren't good. It was a abusive situation. And like at 19, I'm a grown ass woman. Nobody can tell me anything. That's how I felt at 19. I got tired of being told what to do.
Right.
So I left. I call it running away, even though I'm 19 years old. But like the way my adopted parents were, I wasn't going nowhere except from their house to my husband's house. And it was a man that they was gonna pick out for me. So
it was a cult?
I was just going to say that.
I mean, they don't consider themselves a cult, but you all could consider a cult. When I was at church 7 nights a week, prayer, Bible study, working with kids, discipleship class, mission trips,
Basically, life just revolved around the church.
Yes, I was homeschooled. I got pulled out of school, got homeschooled in 7th grade. Like, just a lot that happened throughout that time. And I feel like if they raised me different, because I went back this year to see them and talk to them. And I didn't get the answers I wanted because I knew I wasn't going to get them, but I let it go because I had to let go of Sarah and become Serenity Rose.
Okay. Is that a legal name change too?
Not yet. I'm working on it. Because I don't like the name Sarah.
All right.
I don't want to be called that.
We're not going to call you Sarah Serenity. We're going to call you Serenity.
Serenity Rose.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Thank you.
So you ended up in a shelter at some point because of financial reasons, couldn't support yourself.
Well, it wasn't financial reasons. It's, I was assaulted by a man in my sleep.
Oh,
and
shit.
So I had to, someone told me to report it to the police. I don't like the police, but they was like, you gotta be safe because the streets is no place for you.
Right.
I remember him telling me that. And he was a member who ended up being on the run. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know where he's at, but I pray every single day that he's safe because he made sure I was safe. And he told me, he was like, they gonna protect you. They gonna make sure you're straight. So,
well, if he's watching our podcast and he wants to reach out to you, Twimsies and a Mic podcast, you can hit us on our social media. We'll hook y'all up. You know what I mean? This is what we do here.
Reconnect the dots.
You know what I mean? We make sure that he did you a solid.
Yes.
So we want to make sure that we if he's still around and he's not doing no time.
I pray to God he's not, but before he left me, he was talking about he might end up having to do some time if he was caught. So I don't know. I do pray for his safety. I pray that he's still at least alive and has a family and is thriving. That his life is blessed because he made sure I was safe. Even though it was a situation I wanted to do, it was the right thing to do, because after that, they got me in a shelter, and that's when I started making the moves to reconnect with my birth mom, because I had contacted DCF and I was like, I want to find my birth mom.
Right.
And in between that time, I met that guy who brought me to Pennsylvania.
Right.
And while I was in Pennsylvania, I was taken away from what I was doing, and I was living with this man who was gonna marry me, quote unquote. But I was 19 and he was like in his 40s. And
God damn. That ain't even no sugar daddy. That's grandpa daddy.
And so, you know, he started being controlling, demanding. I was like, you know what? I've been through this. I'm not doing this. And then at that time, like when I was getting ready to just like run away from his house, DFACS kind of hit me up and was like, we found your mother. She's in Georgia. And then from there, because he started getting over possessive because I wanted to leave and be like, look, I want to go find my birth family. He was like, no, you're not going nowhere. And then police had to come take me to to another shelter in Pennsylvania. And 3 days after the 4th of July, I came here to Georgia. It was July 9th, 2014. One of them years, you know, I can't remember.
Right.
But it was at that time when I came to Georgia and meeting my mom, everything was fine, everything was dandy, everything was good, you know, we was all happy.
Did she explain why you were?
Honestly, she did, but I can't believe nothing she says. I'm sorry to put it like that, because my mom has lied to me. She has lied to a lot of people, and she still continue on lying, and she won't admit nothing to me. So that's a whole different subject that I really don't want to get into.
No problem. I was just wondering if you ain't meet your mom since you were 19, you'd have something to say, like, yo, this what happened.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
With her, in the beginning, everything was fine. You know, she treated me like she missed me all those years. Then when I turned 20 and she found out, like, you know, I was still in these streets here in Georgia, because I was in Decatur, I made a lot of friends. Like, people knew me in Decatur and I got a bad name, you know, because of my dumbass choices, like I said, but I was young and I was dumb. But make a long story short, when I had moved away, cause she kicked me out after my 21st birthday. Right. She kicked me out, and the relationship started going sour, because it was when my first love, he was in jail, and he had gotten arrested on some charges. I don't remember what for, but I just remember, like, one day he called me and was like, I'm in jail. You know, we was together. He had broken up with me the night before. They called me the next day and was like, I was coming to see you so we could work everything out, but I got arrested. We started riding back and forth while he was in prison. And eventually my mom was like, oh, you can't go to the mailbox. There was 2 reasons. I was in college and because he was writing me. And she hid the letters. So I didn't know that he was writing me, because she was like, oh, because I will be looking out for letters. I'd be like, Ma, he write me? She was like, oh, no, he ain't write you. He don't care about you. And he was calling the house, calling to talk to me, and she wouldn't let him talk to me.
So you think that maybe she was trying to protect you because she felt like he was no good?
No. My mom does not like anybody who gets with me. When I say that, she does not like anybody that gets with me. She has ruined a lot of my relationships.
Maybe she don't feel like anybody's good enough for you.
I mean, in her eyes, nobody's good enough for me.
But you can't. A lot of parents are like that.
Hey, I better say she ain't the only one. I'm just giving you facts. You know, I got a daughter that's 20, and I don't know if she's gonna ever bring nobody home that I'm gonna feel like is good.
I mean, as parents, you're never gonna feel like anybody's good. You know, for your child.
I know for a fact. I got an 8-year-old daughter.
I have a 2.
Nobody's ever gonna be good enough.
Nope.
I have a 3-year who's about to be 4, so I'm gonna be the same way, but I'm not gonna be like, oh no, you can't go out. They gotta learn and live. You know, that's how I feel. It's you birth them, but it's their life.
It'll hinder you in the long run.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because if you was allowed to go out and experience some of what life is, some of the decisions you'd have made,
a lot of the mistakes you did make, you wouldn't have made.
Right. But you know, based on your circumstances.
But one thing I can truly say is that my mom did teach me a lot, and like I was telling the missus over here that one of the things that she taught me is that you can't really